Hello everyone, Giltar here with part 2 of my review of the 1 to 100 scale Master Grade RX-78-2 1-year war version. Now there are a couple of points I neglected to mention in the first part of the review. First of all, I've referenced this as a video game based design. I didn't mention the video game though. It's the PlayStation 2 video game called Mobile Suit Gundam The 1-Year War, and alternatively it's sometimes called, I guess, Project Pegasus. And so that's what this Gundam is designed on. It's the character model of the RX-78-2 from the game. Another thing I want to point out is that the back of the calf and back of the thigh armor bits can actually swivel open to reveal inner frame parts. I took off the back of the thigh armor because that would get in the way right now. And in fact, if this was extended, the leg was extended, and you could actually reveal more of the inner frame by flipping open this calf armor even more. Another thing I want to mention is that I don't know if it was caught earlier, but I didn't mention it, is that the knees and the elbows reveal a fair bit of inner frame when you bend them, and that the back of the elbow has a bit of armor that slides as you bend the elbow. It doesn't slide a lot, but it's a bit of, I guess, articulation you can consider, which is a nice touch. Another thing I want to mention is that the legs themselves are completely, well, not completely, but they're essentially mostly one single piece. When you get the model kit and you get the parts on the runners, this runner is for the legs. Each side is for one of the legs, and you basically clip them off and you remove the leg component, and then you have to clean them up a little bit and move around some parts like the pistons. You have to sort of twist them and get them in place and then clip them in. To give you an idea of what they would look like when you get them, is that this is kind of like what you would get off the runner. This is the inner frame of the leg, and then you have to, it shows you instructions for twisting all the different parts. And in fact, there are little separators that are included on the runner. You clip them off and you use them to separate the pistons from their original position. So I thought that was a really interesting touch, that not only do you get the model part, but it has built in on the runner a little part separator. So that's pretty interesting. So that's pretty much for my review of all the model kit, details, accessories, and articulation. So I'll move on to my pros and cons of this model. Now, as usual, I'll start off with my list of cons. I really only have 2 cons, and they're not really for me. These cons are really for the average person. Con number 1 would be the ball joint neck. It doesn't give you the range of articulation you would find in double ball joint necks. That gives you the typical sort of chicken head motion. However, that's not a big deal. It has the ability to rotate, look up and down, left and right, and all that, so that's fine. So it's not a major point. I would say a more significant issue would be just the color scheme. A lot of people do not like the pastel or washed out colors of the 1-year war version of this model. Also, a lot of people seem to not like the designer colors version of the Gundam 00 model kits, for example. It's not something that a lot of people like, so that could be a turn-off. However, the good news is there is an alternate version of this model kit that has what's called anime colors. It's for the same price, it's easy to find right now, so if you are interested in this design but want more like vibrant anime accurate colors like this one, there is another version you can pick up for exactly the same price. And I think the price of this model kit, I'll just double check right now, is, I guess, retails for about 3,200 yen, so you're looking at about $33, $34 American. So it's not too expensive for a pretty darn good kit. Now, those are my cons: the colors and the ball joint, single ball joint neck. So as for points of, I guess, what I like about this model kit is, first and foremost, the articulation, the range of articulation that you have, and the ability to pose the model in such a wide variety of positions is great. Anything you want to recreate from the anime, or whatever position or pose you dream up in your head, you can probably achieve with this model kit. Considering the fact that the base model design is derived from the version 1.5 model that came out in 2000, I think June of 2000, it makes this even more amazing, because if we were looking at this leg design is from version 1.5, I believe. So this range of articulation is pretty amazing when you look back at the different model kit designs we've seen throughout the last decade or so. So I think that not only is this a great model for 2009, 2010, or even 2005 when this was first released, it just shows that Bandai really knows their stuff in terms of their model kits. Now, true, it is it does have a lot of improvements over version 1.5, this design, but the core sort of design points of this model does come from that model. So I mean, that's pretty amazing. So the articulation is just great. That's one point. Another point, level of detail in the sculpting, I really like. It really adds a sense of mechanical realism to this. I like this better than the version Ka, which is another contemporary version of the RX-78-2, as well as the Gundam Evolved version of the RX-78-2. I find that the version Ka's proportions are a little bit too super heroic, really broad shoulders and things like that. And the Gundam Evolved version of the RX-78-2 is just too super high techy for me. It's nice to look at, but it's gone overboard on technical detail, and it makes it look like some sort of super advanced machine, like from beyond, Universal Century. One of the things I like about Universal Century designs is that they do have a mechanical realism to them, but they also incorporate fantastic elements. But they keep a balance of it. They don't go overboard on one or the other. So that's what I like about this design. It balances the sort of fantastic element of the RX-78-2 design with the mechanical elements that makes it more realistic. So I definitely like the details. Another point I like is just the limbs, the joints are really stiff. So whatever position you put it in, it'll keep that hold that position for as long as you want. You won't have to worry about it sagging anytime soon. And finally, sort of a more minor point, but something I think that is equally important, is that the tightness of the armor bits is very significant. Like, the whole model kit feels very solid, secure, and tight. Now, why this is important is that I've recently assembled the F91 Gundam Master Grade kit in the Harrison custom colors, and that model looks fantastic, but the armor parts are extremely loose. So that is one disappointment with that model kit. But in this case, with this model, it really surprised me, and I really like that aspect, that it's just a solid feeling model kit. It feels closer to an action figure than a model, to be honest. And I like that aspect of more modern model kits, is that they really sort of approach action figure functionality while retaining the aspects of being a model kit of something you can put together and customize at your leisure. So overall, definitely a great model. I definitely recommend it. To be honest, I personally don't have any gripes with it at all. And so if you're interested, but don't like the colors, like I said before, there is an anime accurate color version out there for the same price of about $30-$35 at most, I'd say. And you probably could find it on sale at some point. So I recommend this kit. I hope you guys enjoyed this review and got something out of it. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.